So you've been looking around to find how to actually play Starborne, and well, you may have seen a couple of videos out there, but they all seem kinda long. 50 minutes? You don't have time for that, so here's how to play Starborne in 6 minutes or less. In the time that it takes to load the game, let me first say that the game runs on influence points. Now, influence points are the main drivers of the game, which influence your progress, but the main thing that really influences your progress other than your level. And the easiest way to gain these points is through building new buildings. You can get them in other ways, such as expanding your fleet, however, building buildings is by far the best strategy. The buildings on the left are the resource buildings. These are the buildings you want to concern yourself right from the start, as they will allow you to gather resources at a quicker rate, that's why they're more beneficial. On the right hand side, however, you have the skill tree. The skill tree is divided into 3 main sections. You've got the military branch, the domain branch, and the industrial branch. For those of you who want to know more, make sure to check out the last video, which talks all about the different branches and all about the different strategies that entail with the different branches, so make sure to go check that out. Every time you reach a certain amount of points, you'll be able to upgrade your station, provided that you have enough resources. When you do, you will receive administrator points. These points are used to spec out into the skill tree. You must choose carefully though, as you only get 17 points on each station. So don't try to go for everything unless you really know what you're doing. Try to stick to one branch of the skill tree to maximize that station's potential. Assuming that you've joined recently or are planning to join, make sure to go into the taskbar to collect all the daily rewards. As the game is played in real time, the daily reward is counted by how many days the server has been running, which means there'll be tons of reward already waiting. Now you may have observed throughout the video that I constantly use these cards to speed up the building production. This is super effective, as it means that you don't have to wait around for the most basics of buildings, which will then earn you more resources faster, to then allow you to build even more buildings so that you can gain even more influence in a quicker amount of time. And of course, that is what you're trying to go for, as this game is played in real time, and there will be other players like you who will be trying to do the same things. And the only way to get ahead of them is by doing things quicker than they are. Now don't worry about spending all these cards, and the reason for that is because these cards are extremely common. I mean, just look at this. I've just started playing the game, and I've barely started, and I've already accumulated so much by just collecting the daily rewards, and you'll get even more just by playing. Next, let's take a look at the fleets. Now it's important to carefully manage your fleets, as things can get messy if you have a lot of fleets, which will obviously happen later on in the game. However, being prepared straight from the start is key. At the start, you should make sure that you have at least one of every single ship type. This gives you versatility in what you do. Industrial ships will help you carry cargo and build outposts, while spy ships are great for looking for new missions, which you can then complete to gain more loot and gain more reward, which obviously helps you progress in the game quicker. The initial ships are the corvettes and the patrol ships. The patrol ships deal more damage, so I'd recommend having a couple of those in the back. However, the corvettes are faster, and so they're perfect for raiding the nearby spawned NPC station. The jump between the NPC stations is quite a bit, so I wouldn't recommend going in and attacking level 2 stations, even though you may be a level 2 station. Make sure to always spy on NPC stations before you go in for an attack, as these stations won't retaliate back at you. One thing to keep in mind throughout this is to always make sure that you have enough labor force to actually fly the fleets, because if you don't, you'll find yourself waiting extra hours when really you could have been doing raids at the same time. I guess the last big thing about this game that you should also keep in mind right from the start is your political position. The more influence you have, chances are the more opportunities you'll get to join parties and alliances, so on and so on. This is great because it builds a connection between you and other players around you, so that you can work together to capture the whole sector. If you already find yourself having a group of friends that you want to play with, then make sure to make your own alliance where all your friends can join and you can play together. The better the communication of the players, the better the alliance themselves, and the more progress you'll achieve. Any other points that I haven't really covered are due to the fact that you should really explore this game by yourself and really find out what it's all about. This is just the basics, just to get started and get a head start on everybody else playing, as a lot of people probably won't know what to do. And the rest of this is a repetition of the last steps. Making sure that you're building new buildings, making sure that you're upgrading your fleets, but also making sure that you have a good connection to other players around you, and that you're in a tight community of people. Pro tip! Now for all of you who have actually stuck right to the end, I'm going to throw down this one last tip, just to help you out to get started, and this is to use these cards. These particular cards are stacked directly onto your station and will add various different things to it, such as extra labor, extra resources, or perhaps an extension to the building queue or shipping queue. This is extremely beneficial, as it means that you can do more in a quicker time, and so by stacking these cards onto your station, you're giving yourself a little boost, which of course will help tremendously. And well, I think that concludes this video. This is how to play Starborne in 5 minutes. It's about 5 minutes that we got up to, but it does depend on how you played and how dedicated you are to playing it. It is a very competitive game, do keep that in mind. But as long as you carry on playing, you're gonna get great, and I'm sure you're gonna get far in the game. Thanks for watching, this has been Pikespro. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos by hitting the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'm on that fuck 'em all and kill 'em shit, back at it, I'ma kill this shit, Josh.